Hello all, my name is Jonathan Parker. I'll be your instructor for History of East Asia. Before we start, I just want to lead with a couple of announcements here before we dig into the syllabus. This is not a new class per se, but it's being heavily revamped. We have a new teaching chair who is going through and looking at syllabi and books and everything, which is normal practice in higher education. I, however, in consultation with him, we're working together to kind of revamp this and get this course up to snuff. I'm taking over from a guy who taught it brilliantly for many, many years and had a strong, steep background in East Asian history and could do this in his sleep. I unfortunately cannot. So this course will probably be a little bit more textbook heavy than other courses that you might have taken with me either in person or online in the past. So I guess just bottom lining it, what I'm saying is you guys are the guinea pigs. And I'm sorry about that. I hate that we have to have groups like this, but everybody's got to be the first. And it's my first time teaching this course, and you're the first group of students who are taking it in this particular way, regardless of me being the instructor, just new material. All right, so anyway, Jonathan Parker, that's my name. Here's my email. There's quite an inexplicable problem with people misspelling my name. It's spelled right here, it's right there, it's right in your Canvas shell, it's right on your schedule. I respond to email. People get very mad at me because they think that I don't, but then it's always that they sent the email to a JOHNATHAN or JONOTHON or some such thing. Make sure you're sending it to the right guy. Office hours by appointment only. I'm available. Really, I am. It's just that, I don't want to sit in a Zoom room for 3 hours and have nobody ever show up. So if you need help, please email me. I will get back to you. We will work together and solve whatever issue it is that you're having. All right. That isn't what's written under office hours there, a don't bother me sign. It very much is not. It's just, let's be respectful of everybody's time. All right. Online Anytime is a traditional online course that does not require on-campus attendance. While there will still be regular and scheduled due dates for assignments, students are not required to log in at scheduled times each week to participate in class sessions. This is true, but you should. Because I go in and I'm looking for non and never attenders a couple times during the semester. More on that to come in a little while. So it would be to your benefit to have logged in and, shown that you have a presence in the classroom as soon as humanly possible. General information, that's okay. We're going to look primarily, your book covers China, Korea, and Japan. If we have time, we will get to Taiwan. If we have time, we will get to Vietnam. I'm just going to be very upfront and say I would doubt it. Those three countries we will be looking at, China, Korea, and Japan. I know that for a fact. So to a lesser extent, we'll also look at some colonization stuff, Indonesia, the Philippines, the Pacific Islands. So course level outcomes, you should be able to identify significant components of East Asian culture and history. Hence the name of the class, History of East Asia, right? So the material of instruction is this primarily. The book, Modern East Asia from 1600 to Cultural, Social, and Political History, third edition. There is a newer edition. We're using the third. This book was picked out in consultation with people who teach this class at Illinois State University. They suggested this. This is what we went with. So get this book, buy this book. I see it $45.49. I honestly don't have any idea what the bookstore is charging for it, but you must have the book to pass the class. You must have the book. There's not a workaround. This isn't going to be a situation where you get mad at me at the end of the semester because you didn't use the book enough. We're going to read the entire thing over the next 16 weeks. All right, and there'll be some supplementary stuff I put up as we go and as time permits. So, methods of presentation, pretty standard online stuff. Course policies. Email is the quickest and most effective way to get in touch with me. Please utilize the email address listed at the top of page 1 of the syllabus and spell my name correctly to get in contact. I will do my utmost to respond to all emails within 24 hours. This is an exceptionally busy semester for me, so I'm just going to ask for a little bit of grace up front. I have 7 classes that I've been assigned to teach between 3 different colleges. Here, ICC, Heartland, and Richland. I'm also taking a graduate seminar at Illinois State University on Thursday nights. So if you send me an email on Thursday night and you don't hear back from me for a little bit, that's where I'm at. So, I know that you all have busy schedules. I'm going to do my best to stay on top of everything. I've run with schedules like this before. It's not been too much of a problem, but I just want to be upfront. So, all that being said, if I get back to you in, 24 hours and 1 minute, please don't, come after me. I'm doing my best. And as an additional note, emails should be addressed to Mr. Parker. It's just a matter of respect in my mind. That's all. I don't have a doctorate. It's not doctor. I don't like professor for some reason. I feel like Professor Parker would be like a million-year-old man with white hair. Just Mr. So, assignment submissions. All assignments must be submitted via Canvas. No Google Doc submissions will be graded. Academic citation, etiquette. Whenever you turn in a written assignment, you're required to cite your source. If you use a direct quote from a book, article, website, etc., you paraphrase a chunk of text from the book, article, website, etc., or you present a theory, argument, opinion that does not belong to you. It is okay, in fact, it is appreciated to acknowledge other people's ideas, theories, or arguments. It takes time for all of us to develop our own original ideas. Essentially, providing correct citations allows you to show that you are borrowing from existing sources to develop your own answer. This is perfectly fine. So the graduate degree I'm getting is in history. I have an 18-hour graduate certificate, which allows me to teach history at the college level. So, when I have a paper or when I'm going to be assigned a paper this semester, I'm not going to know everything there is to know. So I'll look, say, at what Ebry and Walthall have to say in Modern East Asia from 1600, and I'll say, okay, on page 279, Ebry says the Qing emperors repeatedly called on the Manchus to study both spoken and written Manchu. I didn't know that. Ebry and Walthall told me, and I'm going to make sure that I cite that correctly so that my teacher, in your case me, knows that that's where I got that from. That's perfectly fine not to have your own, to be borrowing ideas to learn what you think, or to learn even how to think. We might get into historiography if there's time. At the end of your written assignments, you are required to provide a list of sources that you have utilized for the assignment. We will use MLA9. Now, I say that, and we're going to pause right there. MLA9, I just have that on there because that style is the one that I got the least amount of student complaints about. If you are an avid user of APA, if you're in love with Chicago, go for it. Just stay consistent, okay? So, don't be switching between MLA, APA, and Chicago in an assignment. That'd be a neat trick if somebody would try that. I give you a link there to a citation generator. That's not like the definitive citation generator. It's just the one I use. You might have to view an ad to get a citation for free. It still works. And these are a dime a dozen. This is certainly not the only citation generator. If you have one that's your favorite, it's probably perfectly fine. Inline citations are also expected in any writing assignments that you turn in where you have used outside sources. If you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. I have never, nor will I ever, take off points because something is oversighted. I've gotten assignments where things have been oversighted beyond belief. That's fine. That shows me that you care, that you value honesty, that you value academic rigor. I don't take off for that. Okay? If you have any doubts about whether something needs to be graded, or needs to be cited, everything you do with me will be graded. Please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. You can email me and ask. That's fine. That's a way to do it. But if there's a due date, and you're like finishing it up an hour before, I would just go ahead and cite it, whatever it is. Don't take chances with your grade. I take plagiarism very seriously. Plagiarism, academic dishonesty, these are academic sins that are very hard to come back from. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. This is a battle I fight every semester that I accept that I probably am going to ultimately end up losing, but I am sticking to my guns anyway for another semester. Do not use Wikipedia. Do not cite Wikipedia. I have seen papers with Wikipedia in the bibliography. The student ends up losing half a letter grade at minimum. It depends on how egregious the violation is. If the paper, I've had papers with it's all Wikipedia, no, don't do it. It will negatively impact your grade no matter how lightly or how heavily you use Wikipedia. Academic misconduct, plagiarism, page 24 of the Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. There are multiple forms of academic misconduct listed there. To sum it up, if you choose to engage in academic misconduct or plagiarize, the handbook says this: based on the severity of the offense, the instructor may recommend failure for an assignment or failure for the course. Multiple instances of academic misconduct could include sanctions up to dismissal from the college. Now, this at Illinois Central has been an issue every semester, every single semester. The first time I catch you plagiarizing, I will give you a 0 for whatever assignment you have plagiarized without the opportunity to redo it. This includes the major writing assignments. The second time I catch you plagiarizing, I will fail you for the course. I say this every semester: do not test me. You will lose. I will fail you the second time. All right. No exceptions to this will be made. Other types of plagiarism include copying or obtaining information from another student, contracting for original work with a third party, and generating or revising assignments with the aid of artificial intelligence tools that were not expressly authorized by the instructor. There is a no AI policy in this course. I don't know why you would need it, but still, there is a blanket prohibition on the use of artificial intelligence. And while artificial intelligence is getting better and harder to pick out, it's still not good enough to where most of us can be fooled. By most of us, I mean teachers. Late submissions, life happens. As a general rule, no late work. However, I get it. the power went out, there was a bad storm, there was a death in the family, illness, just let me know and make sure that you have proof that what you said happened did in fact happen. I feel like a jerk even having this in the syllabus, but I've been lied to so many times, I kid you not, about dead grandmothers that I am asking now for programs from the funeral home. Uh, it's not personal. You blame it on the hundreds, now probably thousands of students that have come before you, all right, that have lied to me. If you come to me with an excuse like I went to a Taylor Swift concert last night, this has happened too, except it was Chris Brown, or I had other homework to do, you will not be turning in anything, all right? Those are not valid reasons for late submissions. Statement on the use of artificial intelligence. I am reiterating it. Might it be important? In this course, you must create your own original work for a grade. The use of artificial intelligence, including but not limited to language engines, text printers, image creators, chatbots, etc., is prohibited at any stage of an assignment. Coursework that is found to be AI generated in whole or in part is subject to the following consequence: failure of an assignment and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator with the first offense, and failure in course and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator for a second offense. And I do follow that rule closely, and my dean is adamant that AI should not be used in the classroom, so don't try. All right. Now, methods of assessment of student learning. I apologize here, it gets a little bit clunky. There were a couple master syllabi for this course that I kind of had to pull from a little bit of a few. Course assessment. Okay, so I'll assess the extent to which students demonstrate the following abilities in their written work. So the ability to identify significant people, events, ideas, and chronology of modern history, ability to identify and analyze primary and secondary sources, ability to interpret causation, historical causation, and to support or challenge such interpretations using evidence from sources, ability to comprehend cultural and intellectual diversity, as well as shared traits of humanity. Now, are we going to get to all of these things? I honestly don't know. But it's in here. Class assessment, all the usual things. So there will be 3 unit tests. One is on Korea, the first one. The second one's on China. The third one's on Japan. Unit 1 test will be just on Korea. Unit 2 will be just on China. Unit 3, which will function as the final, will be just on Korea. All right, there's no bleed over at all. The 3 countries and the 3 tests are entirely independent. So there's no need to worry there. Nothing at all is cumulative. Standard grading scale, course content. This I was not allowed to change for accreditation reasons, but if you want like the actual course content, that we'll be covering, open up your book to the table of contents and read the chapter titles. That's what we'll be looking at. This will be fixed for future semesters, but again, you guys are unfortunately the guinea pig group in the revamp of this course. College services, so accommodations. If there are accommodations that you need beyond extra time taking tests, let me know. Otherwise, I've taken the position that I assume all of you have accommodations, and I give all of you an obscene amount of time to take tests to the tune of 2 to 3 hours. All right, so nobody need worry about not having enough time to take a test, you will. But if there is anything else, do let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate. And if I can't, I will figure out how to get you what you need. Counseling, if you need it, take advantage. They're good. Technology help desk, let's stop here. These are the people to talk to if you have a tech problem. It's not that I don't want to help you, it's that I can't. This has been a problem. Students have emailed me asking what to do, like about their MacBook overheating or replacing a computer chip. I don't know about that. I'm here to teach you and answer questions about East Asian history. These guys are the people to talk to. Also, like if you get locked out of your student account, there's nothing I can do about that. That's technology help desk, and those guys are great at what they do, and you need to talk to them. Again, not that I don't want to help, I just can't. Career services, they're great. Again, if you're about to graduate or transferring or whatever the case may be, resume development, they're a good resource. I wish, like when I was in undergrad, I had as many resources available to me as you guys do at this school. You need to take advantage because your tuition dollars are paying for all these things anyway. So make academic success a habit. Like the tutoring center is fabulous. It's second to none. Students, again, this is the first time I've taught this class, so I don't know about this class yet. But students who have gone for like my American government courses or my international relations courses have come out with like significantly better products than they would have if they had struggled through it on their own. So don't be afraid to turn to them for this class or any other. And that's my plug for the tutoring center. Course withdrawal, it's your responsibility to drop or withdraw from a course. So students who drop a class prior to the refund date will be refunded the cost of the course, and it will not appear on their transcript. I would recommend going that route. A W or two on a transcript to a four-year institution is not like a deal breaker, but if it's a string of W's throughout your time here at ICC, that would be a problem transferring. So it's in your interest to like decide what you can handle and drop sooner rather than later. You can withdraw from a course and receive a W on your transcript through the withdrawal date, and these dates are all on your MyICC account and your class schedule also. So Title IX rights, I need to read this verbatim. Illinois Central College is dedicated to maintaining a safe and healthy educational and employment environment that is free from actual or perceived discrimination, sexual harassment, and sexual misconduct on the basis of sex, which includes sexual orientation or gender-related identity under the Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972. If you believe you have experienced or witnessed someone that has experienced misconduct, please contact our Title IX Civil Rights Equity ADA Coordinator at Title IX at icc.edu. Cultivating a community of care. Illinois Central College is committed to creating a community that affirms and welcomes persons from diverse backgrounds and experiences and supports the realization of their human potential. We recognize that there are differences among groups of people and individuals based on ethnicity, race, socioeconomic status, gender, exceptionalities, language, religion, sexual orientation, and geographical area. All persons are encouraged to respect the individual differences of others. No student is permitted to create a threatening, intimidating, or harassing environment in this course. Courses will be conducted in a safe and tolerant environment, and any person who detracts from that environment will be instructed to leave without the ability to make up coursework. Students with a discrimination complaint, please contact our Title IX Civil Rights Equity ADA coordinator, again at title9@icc.edu. As a student in this course and at this college, you are expected to maintain high degrees of professionalism, commitment to academic learning, and participation in this class and integrity in your behavior in and out of the classroom. This means that you will conduct yourself as though you are serious about your education and learning. I hope you are. To work with others in professional environments, both on-site and online. Please review the ICC Student Code of Conduct for information on your responsibilities, and that's from the Office of Academic Affairs. Controversial issues in civility. I kind of hesitated because I'm not entirely sure what's controversial about this class, but for reading and writing assignments as well as discussion, be prepared possibly to confront historical events, concepts, and beliefs which you may find controversial, disturbing, and potentially offensive. It's history, right? History is not always comfortable. It's not always something we like, something we agree with, but atrocities did happen, bad things did happen. We're human beings, we're not angels. Describing, analyzing, and understanding these things does not mean we approve of them. In case of disagreement, maintain an attitude of civility and mutual respect. We all have a right to our own opinions as well as mutual obligation to refrain from insults or hate speech, verbal or otherwise, that would impinge on others' rights to a safe, shared learning environment, free of intimidation or harassment. Disagreements and debates are an essential part of higher education. The key is to challenge ideas intellectually rather than attacking people personally. All right. Attack the idea, not the person. All right. This is wrong because, not you are such and such and you should be ashamed of yourself. That's not appropriate. This idea I would challenge because my reading of the text makes me believe that this is true. That's fine. Attendance policy. Students are expected to attend class each week. Attendance is defined as completing homework assignments, taking quizzes and tests, as well as logging on to Canvas. Attendance is also kept for reporting purposes. When the college asks me to mark who the non-attenders and never attenders are. So never attenders, you never logged into class, or like you stopped participating real quick. Non-attenders, since this is a 16-week course, it would be around a week 8 to 10-ish if you've stopped participating by then. And this is a legal thing. We have to do this for the state in terms of financial aid. So when it comes time for me to determine attendance, I will look at your activity on Canvas, and Canvas does not lie. It tells me when you've logged in and what you've done and what you've looked at. People have battled me on that. People have lost because, again, the machine is logging when you log in. So you cannot skip or stop logging onto Canvas and not turn in your work and expect to stay in and succeed in this course. I've had to drop students in the past and do not want to have to repeat the practice, so log into class. And the registrar's office has very kindly provided examples of what constitutes academic activity: submitting an assignment, taking an exam, attending a study group, initiating contact with me to ask questions about the course. Examples of academic activity do not include logging into our Canvas page without doing anything. And again, I can see when that happens. Talking about the class with a friend, going to counseling, either personal or academic. You need to have basic computer and digital literacy skills, which I hope you would have for an online class. Okay, you need to learn how to log on to Canvas. You need to send emails with attachments. download and install required software. There's no specific software you need to install for me, so I guess this, for other classes, use video conferencing tools like Teams, Zoom, and Google Meet. We won't be utilizing those unless you need me for impromptu office hours, in which case we'll set something up. Again, just reminding you, 7 classes between 3 colleges and a graduate degree. So our schedules will have to be coordinated. Microsoft Office, you should know how to use that. Proficient with Google Suite products and able to log in using Google credentials, which you have from the school. Use online libraries and databases to locate and gather appropriate information. Use online search tools, including the ability to search criteria, keywords, and filters to find information and cite information sources using MLA or APA or Chicago, whatever your preferred style is. Time commitment. The course has been designed to scaffold student learning and allow students the opportunity to build knowledge of. This is a mistake. You'll learn very quickly over the next 16 weeks that if I only make one mistake in a video, lecture, slideshow, whatever, it's been a good day. East Asian history, to build knowledge of East Asian history and political systems. So students are expected to work through the modules on time in order to achieve the learning objectives of the course. The estimated workload is about 7 to 9 hours in a week. So it's not my responsibility to chase you down to make sure you are keeping up with your work. If you have to take some time away during the course of the class, you must ask me or a classmate what, if anything, you might need to make up. If you choose not to do this, do not be surprised if you start seeing a lot of zeros on Canvas. If you find that you have any trouble keeping up with assignments or other aspects of the course, let me know as soon as humanly possible. As you will find as you enter the professional world, if you're not there already, building rapport and effective relationships are key to becoming an effective professional. People are much more inclined, whether this is right or wrong, I don't know, it's just the way of the world, to do favors or go out of their way to help people they have relationships with, and not people who have just been quiet and sat and said nothing. Make sure that you are proactive in informing your instructor when difficulties arise during the semester so they can help you find a solution. And hopefully you have reliable internet access. If you don't, make your way to the East Peoria campus or the Peoria campus where there are workstations where you can park it and get your online coursework done. You all have ICC email accounts. I will not be emailing Yahoo accounts, Gmail accounts, personal email, social media, whatever. I've been asked to do a whole lot of wonky things in my time. You will be hearing from me on your ICC email account. That's it. And you must use your ICC email address for this course. Students have tried emailing me on personal accounts. A lot of times they go to spam. That's not me. That's the school that's sending it there. So the projected course schedule, this is bare bones. I'm sorry about that. Again, it's just the first time through, and I'm pulling this together from a lot of different sources. So first, we're going to look at Korea. There is going to be more to this than read a chapter, take a quiz, read a chapter, take a quiz. But that is what I've been able to prepare up to this point. There'll be like crash course videos. There'll be other, multimedia stuff. There'll be documentaries you view. There'll be all sorts of things. It's just, this is what I could prepare on a bit of a time crunch. So be flexible with me to the best of your ability. You will have 8 modules total. I do things bi-weekly. so as not to overwhelm. I know when students in this institution particularly sign up for an online class, they tend to sign up for like 5 online classes and get totally overwhelmed. And this is to make things just a little bit easier on you and frankly on me when it comes to grading. So we'll look at Korea, we'll look at Chosun Korea and Korea in the turbulent 19th century. So we'll be covering a lot of history in this first 2 weeks from 1392 to 1895. And then weeks 3 and 4, we'll finish up Korea, and the test will open up on Tuesday, September 8th, right after Labor Day, and close on Sunday, September 13th. All right. And that test 1, again, is 20% of your grade. And I say that as a reminder because for some reason in all classes, some students will just decide not to take a test. And 20% of your grade, you've given up your shot at an A. You've given up your shot at a B. A C is the best you can expect if you get 100% on everything else for the rest of the course. So assignments are due at the end of the module. So the 13th, it's due Sunday the 13th, 11:59, 27th, 11:59. China is a 6-week unit because there's a lot more there. So all assignments posted in this module for weeks 9 and 10 are due on or before Sunday, November 1st. Then we get into Japan, and that's a little bit shorter just because the test on China goes live on the 9th and closes on the 15th, and that's a bigger test. Just because there's a lot more material than there was with Korea, and there will be with Japan. So the final exam, which is Unit 3 on Japan only, will open on December 7th and close on Friday, December 11th. And again, only Unit 3 Japan. The dates might change. I don't think they will for the exam, but they might. So here are the important dates for the semester. Look to e-services for refund dates, withdrawal dates, right? Course policies are, of course, subject to change. There will be change. I'm just telling you, just because, again, this is the first time through. We're kind of working on revamping the curriculum. We're going to do our best, and we're going to get through it together. That I can promise you. I'm not a hard person to get along with. I'm not a hard person to please, as long as you communicate. I don't do well with sudden surprise declarations, right? Let me know. We can find a way to work around. And again, I ask for some grace because of 7 classes and pursuing a graduate degree. So we'll get through this together. I hate that there has to be a guinea pig group, but you guys are going to help generations of students after you have a better product from what we do this semester. So thank you for that. Stick with me. This will be a good class. I look forward to working with you, and I will talk with you again soon.